Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions.
Yeah, I know I'm on.
Yeah. Yeah. Are we? Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all can't hear it. Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast. We're on today, New Year. We back. I know we like, damn, the year almost over.
We deep in the month.
It's been a minute since we've been in here, y'all. Mm-hmm. How y'all feeling?
Feeling good.
And happy birthday to your son.
Hey, happy birthday to my son. You know, turn the big 4-0. Nah, he just
Big
4.
J?
He just 4, yeah.
You don't treat him like he 4-0, do you?
No. Yeah. I got to prepare him for when I die.
I was replaying something in my head. Tell me if this sounds like your dad. I was replaying something in my head. It's a birthday party. I think I'm turning 5 or 6, which would mean my oldest brother is turning 7 or 8. And you don't see anything. Well, you see a whole bunch of running around. You know how the home videos used to be. And then you hear my dad in the background tell my oldest brother, Marcus, how many times I had to tell you, sometimes the smart guy has to be the dummy. And I just replayed in my mind. I was like, wow, you don't tell an 8-year-old that. Like, don't you encourage the 8-year-old to be smart?
Yeah, I'm encouraging. But that was our parents. They was on some nonsense.
You don't do that to your son. You don't treat your son like
I don't break you down.
You don't treat him like he's 40 though, even though he's 4.
Yeah, I think our parents was all into breaking you down and building you up.
Yeah, but they didn't know it though.
Yeah, I know. They
didn't know it.
Yeah, they didn't know that shit wasn't working.
Tough love.
Yeah, tough love. I would say a lot of people wouldn't be able to survive Kenny Porter and Jake. That's my dad. Yeah. My dad and Shawn dad was brothers. They just didn't even know it.
Looking forward to the fan question we got. We got a great fan question in today. Guys, don't forget, it's Bitly, BITLY. .com. Bitly.
Oh, I thought that was the dude name. Like, nah. He even got a Bentley.
It's right there, man.
Okay. I thought that was
bit.ly/ask TPWP.
Look how white I look, Antt.
That's because look how black I look.
Not...
Black History Month coming, so you got to turn my blackness.
You look the same color as your pants. That's not good. You need to fix something.
That's because everything's black around him right here.
Yeah.
You got to fix something about yourself.
That's where I'm comfortable.
Make sure you guys send in a fan question. Only request we really got is just make it a minute. Other requests is introduce yourself. We want everybody to see who's out there watching us. And we, like I said, man, keep it clean, but we'll answer just about anything. And then the other promo, I got some good stuff coming, y'all. I know I've been saying that for a long time. Just been trying to figure out how to get it done. But it's gonna get done. Guys, go to our what is it called?
Patreon, right?
No, it's not Patreon.
Subscribe to the members only.
Become a member. Yeah, that's another word in my mind. I don't know why, but you see it right there. Just go on down there and join. There was a problem in the past with iPhone. That problem ain't there no more. You can literally scroll down while you're looking at your YouTube on the app and go right there and join our membership page. Got some good stuff on there now. Some stuff y'all ain't never seen. Some stuff you ain't gonna never see unless you join the membership. All that said, we got some good boxing stuff to get in today.
Oh, yeah, especially the week after. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the Muratalla Cruz fight.
I am too.
And we got Zuffa's first card kicking off, but the week after, the 31st, is crazy loaded. Teofimo Shakur, the whole card has 3 title fights, I believe, and then Xander Zayas in a unification, and then Josh Kelly, Bakram, which is kind of under the radar because the schedule's so full that day, but that's a really good fight too.
We'll kind of like go to the beginning of all that and kind of like chop through it as quickly as we can. Yes.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Is there anything you want to see in the sport of boxing in 2026?
Well, hold on before you do that, because we got a great interview with the new crown WBC champion Dalton Smith at the end of all this. Dalton. So make sure you guys tune into that right there. And then what do I want to see in 2026?
Anything you want to see in the sport of boxing?
I've never really had any
projections.
Requests. Like I nothing that I really wanted. I've always been the guy that give me what you're gonna give me. I think we got something good coming with Teo and Shakur.
Okay.
As I was talking this out, if you guys missed the last episode I did with Naeem Smith and comedian Pierre, it's great show that we did. And Pierre asked me like, what does this fight really look like? And I guess the way I described it to him, he's like, oh man, it sounds like it's gonna be boring. I'm like, I think some other ways it could go, but a lot of people think it's gonna be. It could possibly be boring. I don't think it's gonna be a boring fight.
Okay.
I think Teo knows he has to step up. I think this is his fight. I think it's Shakur's fight to lose, and what I mean by that is if Shakur doesn't operate, if Shakur is caught sleeping, something bad could happen. It's his fight to lose, but I think it's also Teo's fight to win. And what I mean by that is if Teo performs the way that he can perform, and I know that's like an empty message, but
we never know.
All that said, like it could actually be a really great fight. I expect a great fight.
And I hope this fight, I'm gonna let you go last because I respect you. Every time I'm in an argument, we talked about what we talked about for the show. We always disagreement. I said, well, I call Shawn Zittel right now, eat your ass up. But I didn't want to do that. But I hope Teo and Shakur starts the year off big and actually builds the sport of boxing for have a great year. I felt like I was let down last year in sport of boxing. I don't know how y'all felt. I just felt like we had a lot of open stuff that didn't get close. And I don't like how it rolled over into this year with the Boots and Vergil, where that looks like that's not going to get closed.
Yeah, you see, he's just throwing shit at me before this show started.
Saw the lawsuit, right?
Yeah. So I just
start there. Like
I want to see the sport of boxing get active. People just fight. Put people back in the ring.
I said.
So you want to see Boots Ortiz and not Ortiz De La Hoya?
I want to see anything, man.
Yeah.
I just want to see Boots and Vergil in the ring. They can be fighting somebody else. I just want to just fight, man. Stop sitting around here waiting. Like, first off, you guys are not big as you think you are. No disrespect to both of them.
Mm-hmm.
That would
no disrespect to anybody.
Yeah,
because we don't have to say it, but you was referring to how boxers get to a certain point and they think they're bigger than life.
Yeah.
We don't have to. But that goes for everybody, not just and
then I feel like I'm turning into the old man in the room because I'm like, damn, why people just don't fight like Shawn era? The motherfuckers just fought. Yeah. I mean, it started to curve to the Mayweather, but y'all literally brought it back where y'all actually just, especially you, just like let's fight. But Vergil, I just feel like Vergil and Boots, they're not big as they think they are. I don't know how you guys feel.
No,
that would have turned them into a bigger name. But I just want to see people fight. Go ahead, Zittel.
Well, no, I mean, that's fair to say. I mean,
that's crazy. How stop telling him you respect him. He know you respect him.
Because you saw me give him his flag. You saw the end of the year episode, right? Where I gave you I said, who should we look up to in society? I said, look up to Antt. So he's only doing what's right.
So, I respect you. Like, go ahead.
No,
like,
I always respect
I'm all the way goddamn. I ain't that far away from you, bro. I'm right here.
There's nothing need to be said. Go ahead, Zittel.
Yeah, I'm not two-time world champion, Shawn.
You did it.
Yeah.
I never seen him with a belt.
No.
Go ahead.
I hardly even wear a belt. So yeah. Anyway, but no, thank you, Antt. You saw that end of the year.
I got you.
I bet you Amanda liked it.
She didn't see it. I'm gonna play it for her.
Oh damn! Yeah, play it for her. Give me some brownie points with wifey. Yeah. So she. Anyways, I said what I said was, as society
disclaimer, you're probably outside of your wife, but wives don't need to hear how other people feel about you, because that fired them up even more. She hear
if only he knew this and that. Is that what you're saying?
She gonna say, well, that's good. He feels that way about you.
Hey, they always say that. Okay, that's all three of us. It ain't just your house, ain't your house. Yeah, they don't know what I got to deal with. But keep going. Why you bring up shit? Why you bring up shit at home? Okay, I can't even do the podcast.
Go.
Only the Ants, Brenagh of this country can save this country.
Yeah, right.
All right. Man. Anyway, no, I think that's fair to say. That's why towards the end of last year I was saying, I interviewed Philip Dorsett, receiver from the Raiders, won a Super Bowl with the Patriots, played at Miami. Shout out to Philip, man. He loves the show, loves boxing.
Oh, that's what's up.
And even Philip, who is too busy to be in every nook and cranny of every storyline in the sport, but loves the sport, he said, yeah, man, I need Vergil and Boots, but it's got to be for a belt, though. It's got to mean something. Even a fan like him understands that what Antt just said, that they're not at that level yet, right? And that's why I was saying, Why can't we get, if boxing worked perfectly in harmony, and I guess my wish for 2026, a realistic one, is quality championship level fights. Because I could say quality good fights, but I got a closet with championship level fights. Not just good fights, but championship level fights. And I'd like some clarity as to where the sport is headed. I would like to have a decent idea by the end of 2026. Okay, what really is the future of boxing? Where's it going to go to? So I don't know if we'll get it, but that would be my wish. Anyway, back to Vergil and Boots. I wish that Boots could fight Bakram Murtazaliev or Josh Kelly, if Josh Kelly's a live dog in that fight. And then Vergil could fight Fundora. I wish the WBC would do their job and say, come on, we got two champions here. We got to crown a real champion. And then they would fight in the second half of 2026, maybe Mexican Independence Day. But things don't work that way. So fans are understandably like, we don't want to risk any marination. Let's get to it. Belt or no belt. this is the best fight in the division, which I don't exactly disagree with. I think it is the best fight in the division, even if it is only for an interim title. But to your point, Vergil, he looks the part in terms of an exciting Mexican American undefeated come forward elite fighter. Boots looks the part as an athletic Black American, super athletic, super skilled, versatile fighter. But this isn't all their fault. Part of it's the business of boxing too. Because usually by their age, talents like them, well into their 20s, nearing even 30, both of them, would already have the kind of opportunities that would make them both stars at this point. But really, Ortiz hasn't really sold out arenas. When he fought Lubin, when he fought Boachuk here in Vegas in 2024, it was a sparse crowd at the Mandalay Bay. And Boots, he's been able to pack the crowds home in Philadelphia. He sold some healthy audiences in Atlantic City. But neither one would really get the money they want if they were to have to eat what they kill right now, facing each other, a market value fight. So that brings us to the Vergil lawsuit. It makes me wonder because a part of contention in this lawsuit between Oscar and Vergil.
You read it all?
I read a fair amount of it, yeah, some of the court documents and everything like that. The question I have is Vergil wants a $7 million guarantee. Golden Boy contractually is obligated to pay $2 million to him per fight minimum, as long as it's a title fight.
That's the contract you signed.
Yes, sir. But I wonder if the point of contention is Turkey's down to fund the fight. Now, that hasn't been revealed to us fully or not, right? Because Turkey will, as we know, pay above market value. And is Rick Marigian and Vergil saying, well, that's what we want. We want the funding from Turkey that may or may not be on the table, and we want the $7 million that would come with it. And is Oscar using the question I would ask is Oscar using Vergil as a bargaining chip? Because Turkey, he has no extension with DAZN through 2026 and 2027, but he gave Turkey the Barrios Garcia fight. So I wonder if Oscar is saying, hey, if we give you Vergil, because maybe I can make a fight with PBC, Spence, even though that would seem like a long shot. Spence hasn't been in the ring since 23. Charlo, who's calling everybody out again. Or maybe we wait until the Fundora-Thurman fight's wrapped up. We fight Fundora. Is he dangling Vergil as a bargaining chip? And is Ortiz's team going, you can't do that? And our contract stipulates that if you don't have a solidified network deal with DAZN, then we have a clause to get out of it. And so is that the point of contention? You know, is that, hey, that's not our problem whether you can parlay Vergil into a network extension for your own. If that's what Oscar even wants with DAZN, you can't parlay him into an extension with DAZN. You got to make the fight whether or not Turkey's going to give you that extension with DAZN or not. Our guy wants to get paid. Right. It's a lot of questions to be answered.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't really expect this kind of lawsuit to be coming up between Vergil Ortiz and Golden Boy. You know, like let's make sure people understand this is a lawsuit between Vergil Ortiz and Golden Boy Promotions. Yeah. Not Vergil Ortiz and Oscar De La Hoya. He's the face, but it's the business. Well, I just want people to understand.
I'm not suing the PorterWay Podcast. I'm not suing Shawn Porter. I'm suing the PorterWay Podcast, which by virtue means I'd be suing Shawn Porter. But I would never sue that.
But
Shawn Porter is actually protected.
Shut up, because there's a difference between having a problem with me and having a problem with the business, right? So we could be good, but I'm not paying you, and you like, you know, we could be good, but Shawn, you know what's going on with the business? You know, it's this, is that. Well, you know, I have to take action. I don't got a problem with you, big dog. You know, so I just want to
business, not personal.
Whenever something happens, everybody's looking at the big guy. Everybody's looking at
the face.
Aram. Everybody's looking at the face. It's not always the face. Sometimes it's just simply the business. So I want to do my part and make sure that Oscar isn't being painted to be this bad guy that he may or may not be in this situation. It could be just the business and how the business is moving at the moment.
You know, I was discussing last night with Shane. One time Oscar had everybody. I forgot all about that movement when they had Floyd, Shane, Danny. Did you sign with them?
No.
They had everybody at a moment, and then it's
weren't you though?
No.
Technically under that umbrella?
Technically allowed.
I mean, you're done. You can say
it. Technically,
okay, because I was.
None of us was. None of the young guys.
But Danny,
none of the guys. I know Shane was.
Danny was.
I don't know if Danny was.
Danny
I don't
wasn't?
know. I don't know the paperwork. Okay. Danny
the Charlo brothers.
Were they?
Yeah, Charlo
on
brothers.
Paper?
Yeah.
Adrian
I wasn't
Broner?
on paper. I wasn't. wasn't no
Are
paper.
you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive. I'm
Heyman
positive.
Schaefer
Was Shawn
bought out
Porter
those
promotion on
contracts.
it?
No.
Oh, okay. What'd you say?
What about AB? AB was signed with them?
He was Golden Boy.
They were lit. I didn't realize. I'm like, this is what I need.
Yeah.
It was a love conversation.
You know,
needed
where I was in my career, I wasn't where those guys were in my career.
yeah.
So I was kind of like just kind of
You was right
piggybacking
there,
on those cards and stuff like
But
that.
yeah, they was loaded, bro.
Yeah, dang. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then things go awry.
Yeah.
Deontay
And there's
Wilder?
two sides of that story.
Yeah, yep.
There's
And
two sides of that story. There really is.
Let's stay on point here because we got some other stuff
my bad,
coming
my
up
bad,
that
my
might
bad.
be happening. So let's stay on point. Where we at?
We talking
I
about
went to
Andy Cruz?
Australia. I just want to give a
Oh
quick
yeah,
shout.
how long was you there? I thought people. I'm like, I don't believe AI. I don't believe nothing no more.
Yeah.
This girl sent me. Yeah, shout out to homegirl down there. I forgot it. I always forget her name on the fly, but she's like, it sent me Shawn. I'm like, there's no way Shawn's in Australia right now.
Is that the young lady came over here and got? And
No,
came
that
to
was
the
her
gym?
friend.
Okay,
Yeah.
came to the gym. Yeah.
But I was like, there's no way Shawn's in Australia right now. I'm like, what the? And then it kind of looked like you. It
Here's
kind
the
of didn't. You know, trust
thing.
AI.
The funny thing is, I'm literally usually only there for 2 days, and I'm leaving on the third day.
That's crazy.
That's usually how it goes. This was my longest trip to Australia. I was there for 5. I worked for 5 days and then left on the 6th day. And then I really just want to give a shout out to Paulie Malignaggi. And I want to say, like, I want to go on record. I guarantee y'all, we're the baddest duo in the game.
Yeah.
We talked about Dre and Tim.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah.
They were fire. I'm telling you, without a shadow of a doubt, me and Paulie are the hottest duo. You put us up with any blow by blow guy, and we gonna light it on fire. Simple as that. So shout out to Paulie. That's my guy. Love him for life. And we had a good time. Shout out to Nikita Zoo. You guys can go and take a look at everything that transpired on there. On all of the Australian
that
channels.
one I called right
Something crazy. Did you?
before you left when we were breaking down Tio and Shakur at the house. And
Yeah.
I said, yeah, Nikita should be too explosive.
You
for
did
him.
say that.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And you called Dalton Smith.
Yep.
So
yep,
that's what we do.
Yo, shout out to
Sometimes,
My
not
bad.
often enough lately. But
So I just want to shout out to Australia real
You know,
quick.
you travel, but you're kind of weird.
I am weird when I travel.
What do you eat in Australia? McDonald's? You want them to
Vegemite?
No, they eat what we eat.
No, I'm just saying you though. I know. I ain't talking about everybody else.
They eat mushrooms for breakfast, so I was eating mushrooms.
How does that go as well?
Like sauteed mushrooms. It was good.
Magic
Yeah.
mushrooms.
You ain't high?
You were
They eat
tripping out
broccoli
there.
for breakfast. I was like,
They
broccolini.
healthy. Okay, they
I'm like,
healthy.
I'm eating broccoli for breakfast. You know what I mean? But for the most part, pancakes.
You eat magic
croissants.
mushrooms out there? You always had a 60s vibe to you since you grew your hair out?
No.
They
Never
say I
that.
do.
Never that.
all right.
So, but you're right. If I go somewhere and they're not eating American food or
like
stuff
McDonald's.
that I can identify, I ain't messing with it. It's what it is. Where we at, man? Let's keep it moving.
I don't know. We rolling.
Where we at?
Just rolling.
Yeah, we got 2 cars this weekend, Zuffa and Cruz Muratalla.
Zuffa right here in Vegas. Is that going to be the home for Zuffa? Are we going to do everything out of Vegas? From what I was told, they will.
The first couple
definitely.
cards are.
I heard 2026 will be.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Technically, Teo and Shakur is a Zuffa card.
No.
It's
That's
not a
just
Zuffa card.
ring 6 with Eddie
Got you.
as the figurehead promoter.
Got you.
Yeah.
got
Sir.
Turkey's not back in that?
No, it is.
Oh, okay. But,
Yeah.
Okay.
Eddie's the guy getting the check to show up, and it's going to be a great fight.
Slow it down,
Yeah.
slow it down. Let's talk Muratalla and Andy Cruz.
From the top, we're not going to start with the bottom of the card. Hey, it's your show.
Who? Bronco McCart? Who?
Start at the top of the card. Or
Amari
the
Jones.
bottom of the card.
Jerome Baxter.
Let's shout
All right,
out
all
Omari.
right, all right,
Let's
all
shout
right,
out.
Hey, you know what I like about him, though?
Go for it. Yeah, you said you had something.
Hey,
So
let
go
him hit
ahead.
every fight.
Yeah,
and we'll get the main.
All right, go.
I like because Omari was, did obviously won the bronze medal and fought long range in the amateurs, used that amateur style. I think he's transitioning well. I mean, he's got 4 knockouts and all 4 knockouts in his first 4 fights. And I see him punching through the target, fighting with more bad intent, fighting more like a professional. He's making that transition before our eyes. And man, he's just tall and rangy at 154. The counterpunching and the power is coming along nicely. He really is a good prospect, man. And like I compared him to Michael Nunn when he came out, and just a clean cut, really sharp prospect. I think Eddie's got a hell of a prospect there. The dude he's fighting is got a combined record of 22, 71, and 6.
Damn.
So
Lot of experience.
on his record.
Lot of experience.
But he's got an O on his record. He's undefeated. So that's it, man. I like the way Omari Jones is coming along.
I'm confused.
His
Wait.
his
Okay, I thought it was just me. Okay.
No, I know, my bad.
Okay. I'm still
I'm sorry.
You said when he has an O. Like what?
He's undefeated. his opponent's combined record to get to said undefeated record.
I got you.
There you go.
Yeah. So everybody that he fought and everybody that Omari's opponent, everybody that he fought, their combined records.
Oh,
are 22
okay.
and 71.
Yep.
I did that right?
Yeah, you remember. And 6. And 6. But
he's undefeated.
You never know if guys are going to make that clean transition from amateur to professional. And I think early signs are he's in the process of doing it well. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, Orlando may have their best fighter since Tarver. So he's looking good.
Damn.
He's looking good.
There it is.
That's a big stamp.
Yeah. It's looking good.
Who's next is the heavyweight title.
Oh, no, it was Israil Madrimov, right?
Madrimov is on this card, yeah. And he's fighting
David Luis.
Light heavyweight.
Salazar.
Yeah, I looked him up. On BoxRec, he's David Luis Salazar.
Oh, okay.
His only L was to our guy out here in Vegas, Kevin Thunderstorm Johnson.
Okay.
Thunderstorm Johnson.
Yep, who had a razor-close fight with Hitchens a few years ago, back when they were both processed. Kevin, he's 12-8, but he's been one of those. He's the definition of coming up the hard way and having to take difficult fights as an opponent. And one of those guys with the record doesn't tell the whole truth of the quality he has. Sure. And despite those 8 losses, he's never been stopped.
I think I sparred that kid one time.
He's gotten busy on a lot of champions.
This was years ago. When I sparred him one time, and I was like, "Oh, he's better than I thought he was." I wasn't looking at the record, just like on the outside looking in. But again, like depending on who you get in the ring with, things turn on. You're firing a little sharper and stuff like that. It's a really good boxer, just to your point, one that we've known from being out here that just hasn't, other fights that he's had really good fights with, close decisions, and they just simply don't go his way,
No, including the Hitchens fight, which I thought Hitchens got off to a fast enough start to win, but he closed that fight strong. Mm-hmm. And he's given a lot of guys their hands full. Some of the biggest names in training in the gyms in Vegas, all they could handle. Yeah. Unfortunately, not always putting it all together under the bright lights. But
shout out to Kev.
But that's Salazar's only loss. I rewatched Madrimov against Ortiz because Madrimov got the credit he deserved hanging tough with Terrence. Mm-hmm. But I was critical of that loss to Ortiz. I thought it was like excessive movement. He didn't come to win quite this. I rewatched it. He's very good, man. He's very good. Did that
bring your thoughts on the Crawford Canelo fight down?
It did. It did.
I feel like a lot of people did. Okay.
That it made me go, oh, well, Vergil was able to back him up. He seemed more willing to engage with Terrence, although, it was only at a certain line in the sand that Terrence drew. Mm-hmm. Well, I won't get back into that. Yeah. But man, just rewatching the Madrimov-Ortiz fight,
amazing.
He's sharp, man. Yeah, he's a really good fighter. So I expect him to handle his business, get back in the winning column after a couple of losses to the best.
Yeah.
So, and then what, Khalil Cole?
Khalil Cole, yeah. And Jesse Hart. Shout out to Jesse.
Philly.
Long time friend.
Every time I see Jesse Hart, I think of this dude's dad. And he shout out to Kenny Porter. He predicted everything that happened in Jesse's career.
Oh.
That's all I'm going to say.
Y'all just was hanging out one day?
No, the first time he was fighting somewhere, I was with y'all, and your dad was like, he don't do this. Kids are going to lose a bunch of fights.
Yeah.
And when he gets to this level, I was like, he's like, but kid's very talented, but he don't believe. Your dad was just dropping game, and
you said he predicted
it was a preparation thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you give us an idea what it was.
It was kind of like he's gonna peak because the extra work. He don't got the extra, but he called it to the T, and I was like, damn, man.
The more and more I look at this sport, man, it's really hard to identify exactly what it is that separates good talent from great talent. To becoming legendary and all of those sorts of things. And from my viewpoint, it just has something to do with, I don't know.
The details?
It's definitely the
little
details.
Things add up.
I mean, it's definitely the details, but I mean, like, for an example, I don't know, man. I'm still, as you guys can hear, I'm still like trying to figure out why is it that I could have done everything that I've done, right? So then I just look at myself and I'm like, well, I understand that my dad trained me. I take a deep breath when I say this, right? So when I say train me like a dog, right? You basically, you kind of redline the dog and then you put him away. You know what I mean? And this is what I've been told. I've never seen a dog, fight or anything like
Programs that.
Programs you. Yeah. It's like you program.
Right.
It's you programmed, right? So, but then there comes this point where the program sometimes starts to operate the way that it wants to operate. You know what I mean? And so even with operating the way that I wanted to operate in certain fights and stuff like that, it was like this innate, this thing just inside me that just always kept me in the middle of the ring, fighting, doing whatever I needed to do. It's like, for an example, I'm in Australia and these two heavyweights are bashing each other. And I'm telling you, like, it looks like I'm looking at this fight and I'm thinking to myself, like, these guys are not going to be healthy in the next 10 years. Mm-hmm. And it's so bad that on the broadcast they say, listen, I can't commentate this anymore. If I continue to commentate this, I'm going to support this. And I can't support this anymore. The guy says, well, Shawn, you chose this sport. I said, no, I didn't choose this. It chose me. I don't understand why you guys love to see that happening. I don't know. Like, I'm 37 now, and the stuff that I used to do myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm soft now. But at one point in life, to me, it's like there's this hardness that the elites have that on the surface, you may not even understand it yourself or see it yourself, but it always comes out.
And so it's funny when your dad was telling me that Aaron Pryor fight, he won by knockout. He was still undefeated. He didn't lose for another 5 fights, and he called that.
Wow.
That was crazy. I always think about that. I'm like,
Right.
damn. Because I always like, what happened to that kid? I remember he took a loss and it was just, he only got 3 losses, but every time he stepped up. Mm-hmm. But it was just, if you got an eye for the game, you got an eye for the game.
So shout out to Jesse. He did tell me he was having a comeback fight. I think he wants to do something out here and then do something back home in Philly. But I think he's going to be done pretty soon. And I hope that he stays strong, especially against Cole. I mean, Cole is
Sharp. He can switch. He is a good counter puncher. He's got a good jab. I got to see Khalil spar this past week, earlier in the week, and I got to see him spar multiple.
How you looking?
Good, sharp. He's sharp. Good timing, can counter. Again, good jab to go to the lead with, good speed. Khalil's one, I think, issue is his feet aren't the most athletic, right? So he has good counter punching, but he's not covering a lot of ground all the time necessarily. And he's sometimes too patient. He can fight behind his jab even more so. Easy for me to say, I get it. But he's so sharp and pinpoint with the work he does do that you want to see more of it, more consistently, 3 minutes of every round. But it's a fine line. This is, high level box is not easy.
Right.
It's not as simple as just jab more sometimes. Right. Sometimes it is. Right. But it's when you're a sharp, selective puncher, that goes hand in hand with your patience, and it's a fine line to walk between being too patient and then that patience pulling off dividends, which I think plays a role in Raymond Muratalla's chances in the main event against Andy Cruz because he's very patient. But I saw some excellent high-level sparring between Khalil and Ethan Smith, who's an undefeated 168, 160-pounder, multiple-time national champion. And they brought the best out of each other. They did what your dad used to talk about heading into the Keith Thurman fight. They forced each other to raise each other's levels round around and for both fighters to adjust to the adjustments. It was excellent work. And everybody keep an eye out for Ethan Smith, 4-0, coming up out of Pasadena, 20 years old. So, yeah, I think Khalil is very sharp. I would favor him to win this fight. They got some history together, sparring one time in Philly. When I talked to Khalil, he says Jesse Hart ran from him in the sparring session, didn't give him that work he was looking for. So then he wound up doing a bunch of rounds with boots to get the work he was looking for. So he said, I'm going to be breaking some hearts in Las Vegas. So that should be a good fight.
Ain't on your side.
Not one fight. When is this on Saturday?
Yeah, in Atlantic City.
We'll be there.
I got to go to Disney. I'm going to film. I'm going to Legoland.
Oh, yeah, in San Diego?
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You been there?
Yeah,
I've been
many
there
times.
Once.
It's
a lot cheaper.
Yes, it is.
Than the one place I hate.
And it closes a lot earlier, so you won't be caught up until...
And it opens a lot later.
So you're good.
Shawn, pull up the Legoland.
Main event.
I said Atlantic City. I meant New Jersey against Philly.
Yeah.
I didn't mean Atlantic City.
Main event, Andy Cruz, Muratalla. What's his first name?
Raymond.
I was gonna say Ryan.
It's the one.
Raymond Muratalla.
This is the one, huh?
It's a good fight.
2 undefeated fighters.
Good.
It's
very
a good
experienced
boxing
fighter.
Yeah.
Versus a very skilled fighter.
That's where the separation comes.
Experience versus skill.
Yeah.
That's what you think gonna be separation factor in this fight.
Yeah.
What's this? Yeah.
Does somebody get stopped?
If it is, I think it's Cruz.
Ooh.
Yeah. No.
Hey, racist, huh? No, I just threw it out
They're
there.
both Latino.
No.
This is a good boxing match.
Shawn, I can't make a call on that.
It's.
Did I tell?
What'd you say? I say 70-30 Cruz. Is it closer than that?
No,
I got it 60-40
for Cruz.
60-40 for Cruz. I can see that. Yeah.
Good fight.
Let me break down my number right quick, right? So I just think that rounds are going to be good, but Cruz is very smart. One of those guys that knows what's going to happen before it happens. He sets you up. And you kind of, from what I've seen, you just kind of fall into it. Whatever he's setting you up for, you kind of fall into it. And I think that's where the separation is going to be. And I think he's going to win more rounds. I have him winning. Is this a 12-round fight?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
It is a 12-round
title fight. IBF title.
IBF?
Yep.
I got him winning. I got him winning 9 or 10 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's where that separation is for me.
Yeah, I think if Ray get him, he end up buzzing him, hurting him, stopping him. But I think if it goes to the cards, Andy Cruz takes it on the card. I'm pulling for Ray. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, me too.
I'm pulling for Ray.
Why are you guys pulling for Ray?
Because we racist and he American.
No, okay. I was joking, okay? No, I just pull for Ray.
Oh, okay.
I like Ray, but
You're nationalistic.
you want to know why I'm picking him?
Why?
Because I rock with the Keyshawn, okay? That's why I'm picking him.
So then you need him to fight Keyshawn.
Yeah.
I don't want him. That's gonna be like, hey, you never got there. But no, I think no matter what, this is a good fight, and I'm looking forward to watching this. This is a good main event right
A
here.
little slept on.
Yeah.
Maybe. Right?
Yeah, because nobody's really talking about it. We're just literally skipping over, going to next week. Yeah.
Because there's so many big fights that week.
But yeah, if you're a real boxing fan, you know to watch this fight.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a good ass fight, is right.
You'll be there?
Oh yeah, I will be at that fight, and I'm looking forward to it a lot. Andy is one of the best amateurs of the last 10 years. I mean,
Lomachenko level, right?
Yeah, pretty much, yes. And being moved similar to Lomachenko in that, wow, it's your 7th fight and you're fighting in a full-fledged world title fight. That could be an advantage for Muratalla. By the way, Muratalla was not a slouch as an amateur. He wasn't what Andy Cruz was in the amateurs, but he beat Ryan Garcia in the amateurs, who is closer to what Andy Garcia, Godfather 3. He's a lot closer to what Andy Cruz was in the amateurs. Ryan was very decorated, like Shawn was. I think Antt is right in that if it's a decision, it's going to be Andy Cruz. But I do think if anyone can get a knockout, I do think if Muratalla can time him, man, I gotta sink my teeth into this one, because watching tape, I think Cruz is got a quicker trigger. He has more agility too, more shiftiness. Mm-hmm. And you look at how Muratalla had fits with Tevin Farmer. Mm-hmm. Wasn't able to land on him as many times as a busy guy like Zepeda, and certainly didn't blow him out one round like Kid Austin did. But Muratalla has speed and power, and he does have skills. Mm-hmm. So I think we were just talking about with Khalil Cole. He's very patient though. And it's tough. At the championship level, you have to be patient. Mm-hmm. And he has to be patient in this fight. Mm-hmm. But being too patient can wind up losing you, like you're predicting, 9 rounds to 3, 10 rounds to 2. Mm-hmm. So if he and sometimes he doesn't always fight with the most confidence. Andy Cruz in the Cuban School of Boxing does not lack for confidence.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
And I don't really think it's a huge separation in speed. I do think Cruz is quicker, but the separation is more, he's got a quicker trigger pull.
Yeah.
Could you explain it? Because Stephen Edwards talks about that too. Could you take us through that a little bit? When two guys, that's part of what helped Caleb Plant in the early rounds against Benavidez, not just his feet. Mm-hmm. You could have similar hand speed, but some guys have what's called a quicker trigger pull. Could maybe help me with that?
I'm listening to it, and I hope this analogy works. I hope I'm not wrong, but it's kind of like the guy that can go like that, right? Mm-hmm. So this would be Caleb. Caleb's quick on the draw. But then you got the guy that I get it out almost as quick as you, but boom, 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 boom. Once I start to let him go, they're going pretty fast. So Muratalla in this instance can punch with Andy, right? Muratalla,
that's how he hurts him.
Right. He can punch with Andy, but then Andy's gonna be able to if Andy, when we talk about not being quick on the draw, but being just as fast, Andy with his timing, as that punch comes out fast, I'm able to boom boom and time you and catch you with a quick one too. Before you even knew what happened to you, you was quick on the draw. I wasn't as quick. You came out first, but bang bang, and like you know what I mean. That's to me is more than likely what Breadman is talking about. Now I gotta call Bread and I'll report back to y'all. I gotta call Bread on this one. I'm gonna hit him as soon as I leave here because that's an amazing like way to think about it. You know what I mean? And again, like when we talk about this being a science, like that's really diving in deep. You got
just a little bit more on the X's and O's.
Okay.
Cruz. He's busier with his lead hand. He gets his jab off easier than Muratalla. If Muratalla can be okay with being down on the cards, can be okay with his face getting touched up, and get a beat on Andy Cruz, right? Who hasn't went as many rounds as him, doesn't have the professional experience as him, and he can start to get his timing down. And I'm also interested how Cruz fights this fight because he's very quick and agile, but he hasn't been moving a whole lot in the pros under Bozy Ennis. They've been transitioning that pro style, and he's been staying. He shifts around quickly, but he stays in the pocket pretty much. He's not taking too many steps out of there. And if he fights like that against Muratalla, can Muratalla catch up to him and punch with him and time him? And if he can and catch him good, I definitely think he has the power to hurt him. His power is very solid, but he's being too patient. That may never come for him.
And something I'm going to say to every boxer that might be turning pro or whenever you turn pro, never lose your identity. Never lose what got you here. You turn pro and that muscle memory has changed, but that muscle memory is what kept you safe. That muscle memory is what helped you outclass. That muscle memory is what got you 2 gold medals.
I can't. Damn.
And he's a two-time gold medalist.
I always forget if it was 1 or 2, but go ahead.
I think it's 2. I think it is 2.
But whatever the case may be, you've now turned pro, transitioned to this pro style. And again, we all say, you know, the world says that the Cubans are boring, and now you feel like got to. Okay, just one, but two world championship golds though, right? 2 world golds and.
I mean, he won gold in every 3 world championship
Why are we
golds.
doing this?
Because
he was
necessary.
That was good.
3 world championship golds, 2 in the Pan Ams, and 1 in the Olympics. Never even had a 2nd or 3rd place finish in any of those major worldwide tournaments. I mean, he swept. He's Michael Jordan in those games. Went 6-0. So, and to your point about never lose your identity, that's what I'm getting at with Muratalla. I'm not asking you to be that Mexican come forward fight. That's not who he is. He's an intelligent fighter. He's a patient fighter. But there has to be some sense of urgency. And again, you're going to have to probably be okay trailing in this fight to catch up to this guy and time him and hurt him because you do have the power advantage. You do have the professional experience advantage. You have went rounds. Cruz in L.A. a year and a half ago got cracked and hurt twice by Antonio Moran, who is not on the level of Muratalla. So it can be done. Muratalla.
All about that. That was a moment right there.
Yeah, twice.
That was a moment. Yeah, 2 moments, but one really big moment. The other moment was kind of like it came and went. But that first
was
moment
his last
was
fight?
big. Yeah, yep.
No.
2 fights or 3 fights ago.
Yeah, 3 fights ago. Yeah.
Does he fight this fight safe?
That's what
Stevenson's type.
But he hasn't been fighting like that in the pros, which gives Muratalla, if he can hang in there and get a beat on him, gives him a chance to catch him at some point. And especially if Andy is going for the kill, which will make the fight more exciting, but could put him in harm's way.
That's what we want.
That is what we want.
As boxing fans.
Yeah.
Go and both of y'all get knocked down.
So you know what? I'm sorry, man. I'm not picking it. I'm good. Let's see what happens. I think Cruz. I'm sorry. I'm a little gun shy after last year. Okay, I'm working my confidence back.
What you win, like 0-6?
I think.
You like LeBron?
Come on now. I didn't do that. He's 4-6, but I still.
How the fuck do you know that fast?
Yeah.
He's so quick with it.
I had no clue.
So quick with it. 4-6.
And I'm still LeBron. So yeah,
that's crazy.
We gonna cut this episode right here, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Listen, remember we got the interview with Dalton Smith right after we do this fan question. I'm also going to do the motivational message that I don't have at this moment, but I'll have something.
And people probably want to hear you on Brian Norman, but maybe they'll have to wait next week. He changed trainers.
I was going to say,
changing.
Oh yeah.
Open next week with it.
Do we? You want?
It's up to you, Shawn.
Up to you.
It's your show.
Do it. Go.
Well, I think you got the best take on it because his father, proud man like Kenny Porter. So what I said, what Raheem was, I do think part of the smoking gun was Brian Norman Sr., respectfully, a professional in his own right with 29 pro fights. He built Brian Norman Jr. into a junior Olympic champion and a world champion in the pros. So he definitely deserves his respect as I say this. But he...
Hey, promote what you just drunk.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we're not doing that yet.
Okay, cool.
Not yet.
Keep going.
Not yet.
Okay. But it was on mic. Go ahead. This is what Shawn was. Okay.
Not yet.
But he gave his son poor instructions in that fight. Got outfoxed by Bill Haney. And he told him after the first round, when Norman Jr. won the first round with his jab, hey, go after him. He can't counterpunch. What happens? He gets counterpunched and dropped by Devin Haney in the very next round. And then afterwards said he didn't do what I told him to do, which I know it's he'll have his side of that and he could flesh it out better than I can right now. But what we saw in between the corner, he did do what you said, and it put him in harm's way instead of helped him ease his way into the fight. You didn't have enough respect for what was across the ring. And it didn't do your son any favors. So now he's maybe working with Derek James. I think some people are saying it's confirmed, but I haven't seen Brian fully come out and say it's Derek James. One point I want to make about trainers right now. In football, it's all about finding the next young hot coach, the next great offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. The Seahawks, who whooped the shit out of the Niners last night, they got a young guy, Mike McDonald, and
coming to the Raiders.
No, he's gonna stay in Seattle. I mean, he's got his deal, but the Raiders are looking at Clint Kubiak, or they wanted Ben Johnson last year, who's in the divisional round this game. What I'm getting at is, I think one problem in USA boxing right now is we have all these great long established coaches, but where's the young up and coming coaches that are hungry and ready to be great in their own right? I know they're out there, but in the NFL, they don't always look for the retread, the guy who's already established and done this and done that, this and there. So I think Derek James would help Brian Norman, but I would rather him find a guy who can improve his craftiness, his slickness, change his head
Tiger
slide.
Johnson trainer. What's his name?
PJ.
PJ. Like a young guy like that. Yeah.
I always say the PorterWay Podcast it seems like it's my name, but it's more than that to me. It's a way of living, and I would like everybody to just simply pull on my experiences, pull on my ideologies, my beliefs, my, all of these things. And at the end of the day, my disclaimer is, no, my way is not the perfect way. My way is not the only way, but I think that my way of living is a good way of living, a fruitful way of living. And that's why it's the PorterWay Podcast. And that's why I'm always trying to pour motivation and inspiration and all those sorts of things on it. That being said, the way my dad did it is not the only way to do it, but I will go on record for saying I think it's the best way to do it. Also, Bradman Edwards,
B-Mac.
Coach,
Bomac.
Coach Bomac, So if you're a young dad that wants to train, if you are a young uncle, whatever the case may be, and you want to train, I'm letting you know right now, if you think that staying in your gym, training your kids the way that you know how to train or the way that you thought you're supposed to train, that's not how you get it done. Derek James, all of these coaches, not all of them were fighters. My dad never fought as a pro, but this is what my dad did. My dad went around, both as an amateur and as a coach, went around the country especially and around the world, put himself around older heads that had the information, like Coach Nassim Richardson out in Philly, which I know for a fact. Brad is like, a disciple of Nassim, my dad. You know what I mean? Like a close rivalry with Nassim, but also was like, trying to get the information when they wasn't bumping heads because me and his son was fighting. You know what I mean? My point to all that is why we don't see a lot of young trainers coming out and becoming the next ones to be is because they're not doing it correctly. You guys aren't seeking the information. You guys are, and I don't want to, blame or anything like that, but it can't just be YouTube, and it can't just be your city, and it can't just be your state. It has to be You got to reach out to these guys, see these guys, go to these tournaments. When we would go to tournaments, my dad I'd be in my room, my dad out with other coaches and doing stuff and just grabbing it and eating it. You know what I mean? When we went out to work with Manny, my dad would let me work with Freddie, and my dad would just watch.
Jose Benavides Sr. did the same thing with Freddie.
Just watch, record, whatever the case may be, and then, hey, would you like? What do you want to do? Do you like it? So on and so forth. Let's talk to Freddie about it, so on and so forth. Eat it up. And that's how we get more good, fresh, young coaches out here. PJ, a disciple of, shout out to Sappho. But Sappho was a disciple of the same coach that my dad had. You know what I mean? There's a lineage there, which is why, Cleveland boxing is what it is now, because the lineage has never really changed. And that's what we can see.
What about just because your dad, I likened Norman Sr. to your dad. They have similarities. They're proud men.
Yeah.
Your dad kind of got out in front of it. He said, let me get second and third voices that'll hold Shawn accountable. Right. Barry Hunter, Coach Larry Wade. Right. Look what Larry Wade went on to do after your dad brought him in. And Barry Hunter wasn't just another guy in the camp. He had his own program. He came in with his notepad and specific things he wanted you to work on each time. So it's okay to bring other people in, right? It's
okay to bring other people in, and this will be the last thing I'll say on this. We got to get rolling. But there has to be an amount of humility that comes with everyone. Right? As the fighter, you have to be humble enough to listen to the instruction. Once you realize in retrospect that you got bad instruction, be humble and realize that, hey, Dad, you got me here. What can we do to make sure that I'm better next time? I don't know what their situation is like. But then again, as the dad, my dad, there has to be an amount of humility when you realize like that voice is the voice that my son needs. That face is the face that my son needs. And it comes in time. And also, there's an amount of discernment that comes with that. All those kinds of things. My dad, just very smart, very intellectual. And you have to have a decent amount of that along with humility in order to be a dad that's willing to, allow someone else to put their hands on your son and help and things of that nature. Let's get to this fan question real quick, and then I'll do this motivational message. And again, don't forget about the interview with Dalton Smith. Fantastic. That's why I keep talking about it. It was a really great one. But let's take a look at this fan question.
PorterWay Podcast, your boy Q. Peace and love. I'm back with another question. So as the year's ending and the new year's starting, my question is for Showtime, Mr. Porter. I was curious, not trying to put you back in the ring because I already know you're retired and you don't want no parts of that. But if you were to get back in the ring, I was curious with the welterweight division panning out how it is right now. I think you have Lewis Crocker with the IBF, Rolando has the WBA, Barrios has the WBC, and Haney now just got the WBO. If you had to jump in the ring this year coming up, which of those champions would you challenge and why? Also, your father, Mr. Kenny Porter, who would he want to match you up against? And maybe give us some of your strategy of how you would fight the person that you would choose to fight. Happy New Year's. I hope you all have a great year. Sean Z, and with 2 T's. Sean P, Showtime. I'm out.
His record was 5-2 in the finals.
Okay. Big Padres fan.
Dodgers, yeah.
I know, I just fucking with
that. You fucking with they signed another amazing player, by the way.
Well, they be cheating, man.
I know, but I used to love it when the Yankees did it. That's all I'm mad about. The Brooklyn Dodgers are the best team in baseball.
Spend money anymore?
Not like that.
Broke boys.
And who you want to see me in the ring with?
That's active?
I'm going to let you know right now. It ain't going to be at welterweight.
Okay, at 168?
I know.
At 168?
160.
168? Damn. Who do I want to see Shawn in? Vergil Ortiz.
That's a good
fight.
That's a good
fight.
One. That's a good one.
That's a good fight.
That's a good one.
It's a good fight.
That's a good one. I didn't think about that.
I couldn't picture somebody that whoop your ass. No, that's a good. But I think Prime versus Prime. That's a good fight.
Yeah.
Love to see that fight.
I know the question is at welterweight. Is there a welterweight?
Right now, those guys, I look at them like babies, but I mean, damn, welterweight. It's the movement's so crazy at welterweight. I mean,
Crocker, Barrios, Rolly, Devin.
Crocker, Barrios. That's not good fights for them.
Who's Crocker?
Lewis Crocker.
That's not
good. IBF champion.
That's not good fights for them. I mean, if there be one, it'd be
good fights with them.
Devin Haney, but I don't know. That's a tough fight for Shawn.
That's the toughest, though.
That's the toughest fight for. That's a tough fight for Shawn.
Tough fight.
I got Devin Haney winning that fight. It hurts my soul. I got Devin Haney winning that fight.
Hold on.
I told you it hurt my soul.
Hold on. It's me now or me?
Yeah.
Yeah, me now.
No.
It is
You
what
get
it
knocked
is.
out right now. Dan, I'm talking about.
No, hold on.
So
Not then.
That's a tough night for you, Shawn.
That ain't a tough night.
That's a tough night for you.
Devin now and me and
Yes,
Shawn
Braun
then.
versus Braun. That's a tough night for you, man.
We talking about like 30-year-old Shawn?
Yes.
We talking like 30-year-old Shawn?
Yeah, that's a tough night for you. That's
30-year-old Shawn. That's a lot of work for Dev. It's a lot of work for Dev.
It's a good fight.
And I'm smart. I ain't just physical. I'm
He's
smart
too.
Huh?
He's
He's smart, but he's not physical. He might be physical now.
He's to that point now where he doesn't need his dad.
More physical at welterweight than ever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's
He's
more
physical
like
now.
Mayweather
Yes.
now. He don't need his corner.
Yeah.
When he goes in there, he don't. I'm be honest. That kid is very smart.
Yo, my man said, he reaching.
Got to that level.
I
He's
hear
at a
you.
level where he don't need his dad.
I hear you.
And I think that's a tough night for you.
Yeah.
That can end up with a draw. Or, that's a tough night.
Yeah.
That's a good fight because that's whose style's going to take over that fight.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to get inside? He's going to be able to keep you off with the jab. Best jab in boxing. You got beat with one of the best jabs in boxing at one time. Then you figure out how to counter that.
Right. A lot of people had a problem with my jab and also
Devin,
my
you
feints.
fight Shawn.
My footwork.
Jab.
There's a whole lot coming at you, Dave. There's a whole lot coming at you back in the day.
That's a good fight.
Hell of a game plan, yeah.
That's a good fight, actually. Yeah. That now against me back there. Yeah, it's a good,
all the BS y'all been going through. That's a good fight.
He been going through no BS. All the BS I've been going through.
Yeah, that's a good fight,
I think
man.
we're going to cut you off because we running too long with this one. Go.
He got somebody.
I'm not trying to feed into the beef of you and Devin, man.
There's no beef.
Okay, good. There you go.
I think that was smooth talk. That wasn't.
No,
yeah. That's good. That's good, actually. That's good.
Yeah, Devin is the toughest fight out of the four of them, easily. I would have liked the Rolly fight. It's exciting. Yeah, no. So with Devin,
not Rolly out.
you'd have to really not get caught with some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
You'd have to not get caught with some shit. I think
Ryan Garcia, Shawn might get caught with a left.
Can't get caught with a hook either with him.
Trying to get up from a hook.
Yeah.
He got from a hook.
Danny, they said that about Danny.
You got up from a hook before.
Barrios and Crocker.
That was a southpaw left hook or right hook. Southpaw right hook.
No,
let's give them what they really want, Shawn. Break it.
Nigga, you was there. You the one took the shot. No, Axel's
Look, I don't watch that.
What fight?
I don't watch that. He talking about, I don't watch that. Was it left hand?
It was left hand.
Oh, damn.
You know, take a shot.
He sweeped it.
But you're going to get up.
Yeah, he sweeped it.
You're going to get up.
Crawford was the left uppercut.
Yeah.
Why keep going? Why we ain't talking about Shawn knockout? Highlight. Tell him, man.
Those were great fights.
Yeah. I mean,
those were great fights.
I'll keep it where it is. At welterweight. I think I beat Mario Barrios. Shout out to Mario Barrios, though.
You know, keep your right tight. All your drops been left.
Shut up. Like I'm about to do it again. It ain't happening no more. I appreciate the fan question, Big Dog. That's a great fan question. I think I beat Mario Barrios. Fine. Shout out to Mario, though. Yeah. Great fight against Ryan Garcia. If Ryan is not firing, Mario is. I think I beat Ryan.
Adrian Granados. You're just.
I think I beat Ryan Garcia as well. I think I think all these guys. I think I outclassed these guys. I think I worked these guys.
Brian Norman.
And these guys aren't like the guys that I fought. Like
Conor Ben.
Keith, these guys were coming back. Errol was coming back. Even Danny was coming back. Danny had so much more than I thought he had. You know what I mean? So, the hardest one on that list would be Devin Haney. Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially now. I don't beat Devin now. I don't think I beat Devin now. I might beat Devin
today.
I might beat Devin now.
Oh,
hey,
boy.
Devin,
now
Devin, 5 rounds. Devin, stop Shawn. Today, Devin might stop Shawn after this next fight. It was cool, man. Like, what the fuck you doing?
That's what gets crazy.
I don't know.
That's what.
God damn it.
I'm a fighter, man.
No, Devin, I get it. It's in you, but Devin different right now.
You know what? Devin will call me a yes man. Devin wins. Well, not now for sure.
Yeah, Devin.
But I'm going to say back then, too, just so I don't have to hear that shit.
He may edge, Shawn.
I see the foot movement, so I appreciate you. I know what that means. Listen, motivational message before we get out of here is simply this, and I pulled this from Devin Haney. So shout out to Dev, and shout out to everybody out there. Never stop improving, and that's my motivational message right there. We can talk about Devin Haney in high praise now, knowing that it's all real. It's not, none of it's fabricated. He's done everything that he needed to do to get where he is now, and it's because he has just continued to improve. And that's my motivational message. Do not get complacent in life. Keep improving. Find things to work on. Find things that, talk to other people. Hey, what am I doing wrong? What can I do better? Sometimes it's the attitude. Sometimes it's just the face expression, the facial expression. Work on it and keep improving. As long as you have a day to live, you have a day to get better. This is the PorterWay.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast. A goal that I've had for some time now, and we're really going to strike it this year, is making this podcast more international. As y'all know, I travel all around the world, and now I want to take the podcast all around the world. Right now, we're in England. We got my man, Dalton Smith, on the PorterWay Podcast. Welcome to the PorterWay Podcast for the first time, sir. How you doing?
Yeah, my pleasure. But good. Bit of a mad week, obviously from being over in New York last week. So life's been a bit mad, but no, good. Everything's good.
And you said you never fought in America as an amateur. Obviously, your first fight as a pro, fighting in New York. So let's start there. Like, tell us about you having that experience in New York. How was it?
It was good. Obviously, for us British fighters, we always want to go over to the Big Apple, have a big fight there, and to do it for my first world title, it's dreams come true. So it went exactly how I expected it. Fighting
in New York was a dream of yours. It's been a goal of yours for a long time.
Of course, as British fighters, we always need to get over to the States and to prove our names. It's all right fighting over here, but you've got to go over to the States and do it over there as well. So, yeah.
I always think that's crazy. It's like you guys have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60,000 people in some of those arenas over there. Over here, we got, respectfully to us, but we got 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 15, and then, of course, you got to, some that can really sell, and they'll draw up maybe 20 or 30, though, Zittel?
Oh, yeah, as much as 40, and like you said, up to 60. I mean, Dalton could probably fight Puello back home in front of, 20,000 at least? Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so we'd probably say 20,000 for an arena over here, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm illustrating that. Do you understand the difference between fighting in America and, the experience to me is not the same as fighting in England, where I would have loved to have fought in front of 30, 40, 50,000 people, knowing without a shadow of a doubt everybody was going to be there. Over here, it's like we don't know how many it's going to sell until fight night.
Exactly. And I mean, obviously, they always say the British fans, they travel well. They're always loud. They always come out in numbers. But I think as a fighter, you've got to be willing to go over to the States and, stamp your name down over there just so the wider audience can see. And
then you said that you did some work with Manny Robles out in California. So even though you're a UK guy, you've traveled here to train. You also said you trained at the Olympic Training Center as well. Tell us about getting over here to train. Like where did the mindset to come here to train, and then again to find someone like Manny Robles, kind of take us through that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think as you're younger, obviously I was on the Great Britain team, so I was fortunate to go to Colorado Springs at the Olympic Training Center a few times. That was always good. And then as a professional, I spent a good few weeks with Manny Robles, just learning the craft. And I think the biggest thing going over to America is the sparring. Like, I find it hard to get tough, hard sparring in the UK. And I always knew, go to Manny's, there's people piling into the gym for sparring, and it's tough as well. So, that was the main reason behind it. Go and learn more of my craft and get some good sparring in.
Do you have any sparring sessions, any guys that went on to be champions that you can recall that were just really good or really intense when you were in Colorado or in the States?
I can't really remember, but obviously in the UK, I've had some good champions. I can't really remember the names.
Well, Dalton, man, I mean, winning a title in New York, just to start there, do you feel like there was some synchronicity? Hamed, Prince Nassim, his movie's coming out around the same time you're fighting Matías, and you're both from Sheffield, England, and winning winning a title in New York, like he beat Kevin Kelly in New York. Did that go through your mind at all that stuff?
Yeah, I think it gave me some sort of inspiration, and I think, you know, you look at that and you think the timing's perfect. You know, he had his movie coming out, and then, you know, having my turn to come over to New York and fight for a world title. So sometimes I think the stars was just aligned.
To take it back to the fight itself, and again, you know, congrats on what was really an instant classic. Really got the year off to a strong start in boxing. Towards the end of the second round, the third round, it looked like that was his best moment of the fight. He had a little bit of momentum going his way. You clinched him to slow him down a number of times. Was there a moment where there was a gut check where I know you came into this fight hell-bent on winning, wouldn't be denied kind of thing, but it looked like in the third round he was having his best moment, and then in the fourth round you seem to make your mind up, no matter what this guy hits me with, I won't be denied tonight. But was there kind of that moment of deep waters that early in the fight, in a real gut check moment where he was starting to roll downhill and you had to dig really deep early in that fight and make your mind up once again?
Of course, you know, me and my dad, obviously my dad's my coach. We knew we was going to have hard times in the fight. You know, that was my hardest fight to date. And it's world level boxing, you know, there's no easy fights. And it was a chance for me to prove myself. And we knew we was going to get into hard times in the fight. You know, Subriel is a relentless fighter. You know, I could have probably boxed him a little bit more, but once you're in the ring and we got into a bit of a firefight, I thought, I'm comfortable here, and I felt like I was hurting him early on, especially to the body, and I was just comfortable in there to, you know, matching his pace, and whatever he fired, I had an answer for.
Did well, you mentioned you and your father knew you'd have to go through that in the fight. Where do you feel like you got that grit from that allowed you to pull through that? Was it something in your upbringing, you know, as a young man, as a child, or where'd you get that from?
I'm not sure. I think you always like to think you've got it, but until you're there in the fight, you find out if you've got the minerals for it. And you know, when you've made a deal with yourself, you're willing to go to hell and back to win a title. You know, I think it brings more out. But as much as entertaining as the fight was, you know, I was comfortable in there. And to be honest, it's probably the most I've enjoyed that fight more than anyone in my career.
That was one thing that struck me. I heard the commentator say that Matías was forcing you to fight his fight. I think one time they might have said he's forcing you to fight his fight. And then another time, I know for a fact, they said that you seemed uncomfortable. And I'm sitting back and I'm looking at this, and this is my question to you. I'm thinking to myself, you guys don't know, this probably is his game plan. He probably knew that he had to fight with Matías, and as you guys think that he's uncomfortable because you think he's fighting Matías's fight, he probably came in here knowing that this is the fight. He had to fight. You look very prepared for that battle. Like, what was the game plan?
Yeah, so the game plan was early on, you know, move the feet. You like the first round. But what we also had in his mind was don't give him too much room, because he gets momentum on the front foot, pushing the guys back. And it's very rare someone sits on his chest and pushes him back. And when we've seen that in the fights, you know, when he gets pushed back, he gets a little bit disheartened, as though like this is meant to happen. You know, so I could have probably been defensively a bit better inside, but like I said, he hit me with his best shots, and I was pushing him back, and I knew eventually I'd be able to slow him down.
There's 3 guys in my career, and actually in that order. When I fought Keith Thurman, before I fought Keith, we're both like kind of making our way, and as we're making our way, just like that, I happen to look over, and I'm like, damn, I'm probably gonna have to fight him someday. And before that, I was like, damn, this is gonna happen soon, and of course, it ends up happening. And then when Errol Spence started making a whole lot of noise, people were saying he was the boogeyman, and no one wanted to fight him. And reporters come to me and they asked me about it. I said, he just got to get a belt. We can fight. He just has to get a belt. And I came over to the UK. He beats Kell Brook. Put my hands in my pocket and I stand up. I said, it's on now. Whenever they say go, time to go. Yeah. And then I'm watching Terrence Crawford fight Jose Benavidez Jr. And before that fight, I never had a thought of fighting Terrence. But I'm watching this fight with Jose, and I'm marveling at this dude. I'm like, this dude is good. And before the knockout comes, I'm like, I'm gonna have to fight that dude. Like he's that good. I might have to fight him. He gets the stoppage, and I'm like, damn, I think I'm gonna have to fight Terrence. Right? Along the way, Subriel was making a whole lot of noise, and I know you saw it. Like, did you ever have any thoughts of getting in the ring with him? Kind of take us into the mind of a fighter when he's looking across from somebody that he knows he might potentially fight one day.
Yeah, of course, Subriel's been on the radar over the last couple of years. You know, obviously being in the same weight, you know, he was the bogeyman. You know, he was the avoided one. But I always said I wanted to fight for the WBC world title. So, you know, that was a route I wanted to. I didn't want to pick an easier route. You know, I just wanted to fight for a title I've always dreamt of winning. And then it just happened to be Subriel. And, you know, when you get that opportunity, it doesn't matter who it is. You've got to be willing to, you know, find what's deeper inside of you to go and win that. And again, like I said, you always believe in yourself, but until you're in the moment, you find out if you've got it or not.
And then one more on that, because I know you've seen him knock out guys. I know you've seen him take a whole lot of like shots and punishment in the first couple of rounds, and all of a sudden he turns it on and like, you know, lights out for the other guys. Did you ever look at that? Like, man, this dude can punch, you know, like kind of, you know, what were your thoughts on him and as a fighter?
100%. I thought there's going to be tough times in the fight. You know,
yeah.
he's a scary guy. I'm not going to lie, but I was willing to put it all on the line for it. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. He's a scary guy.
With Keith specifically, I remember thinking, like, because I saw him in the amateurs, like really flooring guys in the amateurs. And then, of course, he's doing it in the pros. I remember thinking to myself, hey, we going to fight, but he ain't going to hit me with that shit. You know?
Yeah, but I think it just gives you that little, it makes you switch on that little bit more.
So who else was on the radar, and then who's on the radar now?
Mm-hmm.
Look, whoever like I said, I'm a world champion now in probably one of the best divisions in boxing. So, you know, like you said, these are the Shakur, Teo fights. You know, I feel like I've earned my spot to be a part of those big fights now. So, I mean, I'm going to have a good rest over the next couple of weeks and then, you know, see what my team say. But I'm not a fighter to talk shit, call somebody out. You know, whoever's there and the biggest fight is, you know, I'm ready to be a part of it.
Did you have any thoughts of coming over here for the fight, New York? Yeah,
possibly. I'm going to go over, I think, watch the fight. Nice. Even as a boxing fan, it's a great fight.
Okay. And then one more for me, I think. We might have Keyshawn Davis on this show this week. You said you're not one for calling anyone out, but give us your thoughts on Keyshawn Davis and a fight with Keyshawn.
Yeah, I think he's a good fighter. You know, I remember him from the amateurs as well. And like I said, the 140's stacked. You know, the talent coming through, and especially those young ones, you know, breaking through now. So I think Keyshawn's a good fight. You know, and these are all, you know, possible opponents in the future. So, of course, we'll be keeping his eye on him.
I am going to start some shit. Do you have a message for Keyshawn?
Wish him all the best. No, I don't think he said any bad words about me, so you know, I've got no bad words for him.
There it is. Go ahead, Zittel.
Actually, Dalton, Shawn, when we were breaking down the Teofimo Shakur fight, I said, "Yeah, man, that Smith Matías fight is coming up. Who do you got?" And Shawn had you winning the fight, so I gotta give a shout out.
My God.
Yeah,
appreciate it, brother. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, and that was with you as a kind of a significant underdog heading in here in the United States. So yeah, props to Shawn for that. He knew what was coming.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Going to the about the Teofimo Shakur fight, you know, give us your pick, you know, or if you can give one, and why. Who do you lean towards? Who has the edge, you think, in that matchup, and why?
I think it's hard. You know, it's a real 50-50 fight. You know, Teo's established at the 140. He's been at that weight a long time. And, you know, I think Shakur, his boxing IQ, everything's spot on. You know, so I favour Shakur over the points. But it really is a 50-50 fight, and I think it's hard to pick.
I agree.
Well, no, go ahead, Shawn.
Just saying, I agree. Yeah, he knows his shit.
Yeah. I know you mentioned, you know, you're not one to call guys out, but you mentioned wanting to be the WBC champion, which has always been, out of the four belts, looked at as the glamour title, you know, the most popular of the four. But being that Teo Shakur is for what we call the lineal title, is that the fight you do want the most at some point in the division, the winner of that matchup?
Of course, and I think as a fighter, once you become a world champion, then you want to be, chase the big fights, cement a legacy and stuff. So, like I said, I'm here to be a part of the biggest fights, and if we can, get that after, it'd be great.
If you had to rank, okay, go ahead, Shawn.
No, go.
If you had to rank the four of yous, the four champions, and I imagine Dalton Smith is number one on your list, but like you said, it's a quality division full of really good champions. The other three being Teofimo, Richardson Hitchens, and Gary Antoine Russell. There's no easy belt holders there. How would you rank the four?
I think you'd have to say Teo as number two. If I'm number one.
Oh, you're gonna say one for a minute. I was like, oh.
I think he's at the top of the table. He's established. He's a good fighter. Below, it's a Gary Russell, and then Richardson Hitchens. But again, it's stacked. I don't think there's any weak champion.
It's stacked, and it's really hard to rate all of those four guys, or you four guys. I think out of you four, you probably would be looked at as the weak link. You're the newcomer. You're the guy that even though you more than likely have a significant following over there. For us, you don't have a enormous following. I kind of I've always kept my eye on some of the UK guys because I enjoy the way you guys fight. So here's my advice to you. Here's my my motivation to you, my inspiration to you ahead of a fight with any of those guys. I like this quote. You don't have to be better than any of those guys. You just have to be better than them on that night. So you look on the surface and the numbers may not lean your way. The stylistic matchup may not lean your way. Somebody might be faster or stronger, whatever the case may be. They can be all that. But on that night, you just got to be that much better than them.
I agree. And to be honest, it was a lesson with the fight last week. It's the first time I've been the underdog. Style-wise, we were saying Subriel's going to be too much pressure, and I think I came through that with flying numbers, and I think you prove a lot to yourself as a fighter when you go through that. And I always remember Joe Calzaghe said to me, says, once you win your first belt, he says, your level just rises. He says, you automatically become a better champion.
Well, that was exactly my, the one I was going to have for you, Dalton, is, they say, in the States, it was you get 50% better as a world champion. Where do you see yourself growing in the ring? Not just simply having the experience, but what kind of quality do you feel like that's going to add to your style and how you go about your business in the ring?
I think it's just that you just gain that extra confidence. As much as we believe in yourself, you're proving to yourself we're at world level. And I think the fashion and who I beat, I proved I can mix it with any of the boys.
You think Puello's next? Is that what your team is probably indicating? A home title defense against Puello, who's the mandatory? I would love to see Cruz, who has the interim version of your title. I think that's in another fight of the year kind of candidate. But obviously you're resting right now and enjoying this victory. But what do you think is probably next?
Yeah, I mean Puello, he's the mandatory. But like I said, I just leave that to my team, and I would like the big homecoming back in my hometown in Sheffield. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not sure what's next. Obviously, we'll have to speak to the WBC, my team, deal with them, and we'll see what's next. But like you said, the future looks bright.
You good, Zittel?
Oh yeah.
A little bit longer than expected, but I got one more for you. I did not realize that your dad was your coach. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your relationship with your father in and out of the ring.
Yeah, obviously you can relate as well. It's a relationship. What's
terrible as a tell. He's got a terrible relationship and he's lying right now.
It's one of those. That's all we know. We've done it from young, and you have to separate. The father-son bond. You've got a coach, and fighter, and my dad puts 100% into me. He knows me the best, and what you miss out on, you gain in other areas. And what we experienced last Saturday, that'll live with us forever.
Congratulations to you both, my man. Thanks for coming
Appreciate
on the
it.
PorterWay Podcast.
Thank you for having me on as well.
You got it. We'll talk soon,
Thanks,
all right?
Sean.
Appreciate it, boys. Thank you.